guys, what's up? This is pretty much like a check-in / wrap-up of March, and it's going to be a little bit about life. There is going to be a weigh-in in it. What? A weigh-in? Yes. And just a little bit like about my plan and how it's been going this month. And I think that I told you guys in my last video that I had started a new eating plan that was really working well for me, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that. So let's just jump right in. If I look pretty rough, no, not if, I do. I look pretty rough, and that is because I have been really, really sick. If you're on any of my social media, you probably already know that. But so we are going to be dealing with probably coughing a bit and stuff like that. But actually, that kind of works into what I wanted to talk to you about, because in the past, like over the past year when my sobriety was more in question, I think that it was basically broken. I think that I was getting sick anyway, like for different things. This has actually been like a allergies / cold that turned into like asthma. But I think that like over the last 2 years, every time I got sick, I used it as like a reason to like go off, and then in the end I wound up not sober. And so I kind of feel like this plan that I have implemented in my life has held up to the test of being ill over the past what, 14 days, almost 2 weeks or whatever. So it's been good. So I'm gonna tell you, this is what I have been doing with March. And actually I started a couple of days in February, the 24th. I have been officially sober for over 30 days. Like, it's been good. It's been weird and it's been hard. Like, there's definitely been look at my hair. It's like all over. It's been weird and it's been hard and it's been like, you know, it's hard fought, and it is sometimes daily. Sometimes like I'll have a really great day and it won't really present itself as a problem, but then the next day it's like doubly hard. So, as you guys know, I have said again and again that I am not focusing on, calories or calorie restriction or anything. I am counting them, but I'm not actually, I don't have like a super low goal. I know usually I would set like a 1200 calorie limit or 14. It's just whatever. I mean, ideally I shoot for 14 to 15. I don't shoot for that. No, that's not true. Ideally that's what I would hit, but I've had lower days and higher days and it's just kind of worked out. I think my lose it is set at like 14 something just because, but I will admit that I have had red days way over that and I've had green days under it. So it's not a big deal. As far as movement, it's like, yeah, I want to get back to working out the way I used to because I miss it. Not because of the weight loss, not because of the, anything other than like, I really miss it. I miss the social aspect of my Zumba classes. I miss how good I felt. I miss the emotional, release and like the emotional benefits. And of course I miss the physical benefits too, but that's not just losing weight. That's like being able to move easier and everything else. So this month, my March challenge, and I'm bringing that up just because it works into today, up into like the whole wrap up. My March challenge was to move 10 minutes a day at a minimum. And I did that. I did that every single day. Once I got sick, there were a couple of days where I had to just accept using yoga, like restorative yoga, which basically means you climb into the position and lay in a stretch. And I had to be okay with using like daily, like one day, the day I actually breathed all the like toxins that killed me, I didn't actually get any workout done, but I had worked a job, which means hauling my tables and chairs, setting them up and hauling them back and everything else, and there was a lot of movement in there, so it actually counts. So I did decide early on to allow life activity to count, even though the goal was to set aside a separate 10 minutes of movement. And I would say that out of the last 31 days, it's been 5 days that I used life activity, and they were all when I was at a point where I can't breathe. Like, just talking to you guys is getting me kind of winded. So I feel really good about my exercise, and going into the next month, I do have a plan. For this week, I'm going, okay, there we go, right? I'm tracking my medication, and I'll show you guys on my other calendar how it just kind of became like life just happened here, and I really enjoyed it. It worked out well, but so I actually have the plan 10 minutes a day here again, and then I have 10 minutes a day twice a day, so like once in the morning, once in the evening, or once in the morning, once at lunch. If I do like an hour, I'm counting that as my 20 altogether. Like, because when my friend and I go for a walk, we walk for like about an hour. So I feel like I'm on so many medicines that like have me kind of rushed. Like I have to take breathing treatments and steroids, and it's been weird. So I'm sorry if the weird is coming across. No, I'm not. The weird has been on this channel, but the different kind of weird. There you go. So that's, you know, and then like I have 10 minutes a day, like this second whole week is 10 minutes a day for most days, and 3 30-minute sessions, and 10 minutes a day, twice a day, and then 10 minutes a day and 3 60-minute sections. So that's how I have it set up. Okay. So, now let me talk to you about my food plan. I have been kind of obsessed with the idea of fasting. There's supposed to be all kinds of benefits to fasting, like, I don't know, regular fasting, right? And when you like read about it, like it can help, it's supposed to help with so many different health issues and stuff like that, and preventative and wellness. But I had talked to my wife about it like over the last year several times. I've read a lot of articles on fasting, but I was always concerned because of my disordered relationship with food that fasting would become starving, or that fasting would lead to binging. So I never really tried it, and I stick by that choice for me. Like that was like probably the right thing. I feel like that's good. But in my research, I found something called intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting. Yeah, IF. That's what we're gonna call it. IF. So look, I have like a white hair. Anyway, basically you fast for 16 hours and eat for 8 every day. So if you started eating at 10, you would stop eating at 6. So your first meal would be at 10, your last meal would be at 6. And it's supposedly has the same benefit as having regular fasts, like if you have 2 fast days built into your week. So I was like, you know, I'm interested in this. I've been wanting to try the fasting, but I haven't felt like that was a legitimate way for me to fast. So they also were like, in my past experience with fasting, it's like, you know, you cut off at whatever time and you don't eat the whole next day. Well, they were like, we recommend if you're going to try fasting for whatever reason, if you're going to do the 24-hour one, you have your last meal at 6 p.m. and then you go to 6 p.m. the next day. You don't ever have a day of not eating, if that makes sense. But I was like, I don't know that that's good for me. So I think what I'll do is do the intermittent fasting. And I started, in March, I started. So, I did it all month. I told myself I'm going to eat what I want as long as it's good food. I mean, like, I'm not going to, just because it's, basically it was like, I'm focused more on eating in this time than I am on eating, like, what I'm eating, you know. But when I'm sober, I tend to eat cleaner anyway, because for me, like, trigger foods cause me to want the same type of foods. And when I'm off of them, once I'm done and the withdrawal has passed, I don't want them, really. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like my mental state might want them, but I don't want them. So it was like, you know, I'm not going to, like, count my calories. I'm not going to do anything but focus on time. And what I found was that sometimes I would eat 3 meals, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you know, and other stuff in there, like fruits and veggies and stuff. And sometimes I would only eat 2 real meals. Like, I'd be like, well, I'll just eat lunch and then have a couple of fruits and veggies and eat dinner, or whatever. Like, that's just kind of how it worked out. And I was very, very forgiving with myself. The only thing I stuck to was eating between the 2 times. I did not beat myself up and being sober. I do want to make sure, like, you know, passing on certain things and not, like, eating things. Like, I never gave myself, like, well, since all I care about is the time, I have free range to just, like, eat like a buffalo. Like, it wasn't like that. But it was a lot more relaxed about it. Like, I would generally, what I do is I keep a little notebook and I write my foods down. So if I'm having a baked sweet potato, which if you guys have been with me, you guys know that, like, I used to be really scared about potatoes because of how high they are in calories, and, like, using coconut oil. Like, I use coconut oil in a lot of stuff, those kind of things. I don't even look at the calories. Like, I write them all down. I know my brain knows them, but I really do my best not to think about it. I write down my food, and at the end of the day, I log it in to lose it just to have a better record of it. And that's why I'm saying, like, some days I'm over and some days I'm under, because it's like, whatever. But it's a true reflection of how hungry I was and how I was feeling that day. Like, I noticed that for me, I tend to not be hungry the week before my period. Like, I tend to just naturally have very low calorie days. I think it's because my stomach hurts and I'm just not feeling very well. And I have these, like, super low days. And then my period comes, and, like, starting the second day for, like, 3 days, I'm so hungry I can't think straight, you know? And I just kind of rode the waves of life and went with it. So what I liked about this program, for me, is that it is flexible, and it's like everything I read some people didn't like it. Some women didn't like it. Some people loved it. Some, you know, people were like, I have food issues and this triggers them. Other people were like, I have food issues and this helps. I have food issues. And this really helps because I feel like, I know this is going to sound the stupidest thing, but it's almost like I wake up with such resolve and the ability to get through it. And over the course of a day, that just gets banged down and banged down and banged down. So that by the time the end of the day has come, my willpower and my resolve and my focus is scattered, and the day's stresses have left me, like, emotional, and I'm ready to just, like, go bananas on it, you know? But with this, it's almost like there's this smaller space and time that I have to stay strong, and it's easier for me mentally. I don't know how to explain that other than it's easier for me mentally. So it's like I spend like so much less time thinking about it, thinking about food. I do not obsess, like I think that I have obsessed over food before, but there's 16 hours that I don't think about food at all. And then because I'm not limiting myself like to only this or only that or just 500, it's not like I'm trying to do the math to try to figure out how to get 5, 8, whatever. It's like, no, it's like when I'm hungry, I eat as long as I'm in my little window. And I found that my body adjusted to that very naturally. Within the first couple of days, I just felt great. So, the other thing was, everybody's like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not like when you're trying to cut out carbs, like on Atkins, and you have to stay like in this carb zone for so long, and if you eat too many, you start back over it. It's like, okay, if today you had, you know, an early breakfast with somebody and you are hungry and you eat at night, that's fine. Just go back to it whenever you're back on it. If it works well for you Monday through Friday, that's great, you know, but just make it fit your life and whatever. So when I got sick, when I got sick, I was still like eating like pretty regularly. It was all on my chest and stuff. It wasn't really my stomach. So then, and actually I think that while I was sick, like the week before I actually got to the doctor, because I couldn't get an appointment forever, I probably ate like higher calories. I know I did. Because I ate like more carby foods. It was like, I don't feel good. And if I want a sandwich 3 times a day, that's what I'm eating. I eat a lot of avocado, a lot of bread, like, and that's not bad. Like, avocado is not bad at all, but like I basically, like 2 days I ate for all 3 meals. I ate avocado, tomato, and wheat sandwiches because I was like, that's what I'm craving, that's what I'm eating. So anyway, and then I had like snacks and stuff, and it was like whatever. I sucked a ton of throat lozenges and stuff, and I didn't count the calories and I didn't care. It was like, dude, I'm just getting through, you know? Where before that kind of stuff would have really bothered me. I did tell myself, it was like, you know what? I'm not going to restrict my throat lozenges to 8 hours a day. I feel horrible. And it fit. And then once I got put on medication, I have to eat with 2 of my medicines. I can take them together. So it's like 2 mandatory eating times have to be 12 hours apart. So I was a little bit agitated by it. And the biggest thing that agitated me was I didn't want this to be a reason I broke a habit that had worked and made me happy. So I did a lot of research, and I called my doctor, and I talked to a pharmacist. And I found out that actually they don't have to be, it's not that far apart because of keeping your levels even. Like sometimes you have to take medicine like perfect clockwork to keep a certain amount in your body. The pharmacist was basically like, look, you could take those medicines at the exact same time and just get done with it, but you're going to make yourself really sick. And he was like, so, you know, basically the further apart you take them, the gentler it's going to be in your stomach. I talked to my doctor. She was like, yeah, that's true. I would not recommend going any less than 10. So I was like, okay, cool. Took my calendar, and like I've been tracking like my, like I said, I rate my days, but on my calendar, I've been tracking my medicine, my weight if I weigh in, my breathing treatment, you know, how sick I feel, and anything else. So on my calendar, I set apart like this, like I see that orange line under there. That orange line means that for medication reasons, my IF is not set at 8 hours, it's set at 10. It is not a true, like, 16-hour fast, but it kind of keeps me in the habit, but works with my medication, and I'm comfortable with that. The other thing I'm really comfortable with is that even though this is my plan, this is all about my sobriety. So whatever happens and however my plan changes, that's okay as long as my sobriety is intact. So you'll notice that I have some red days. Those are days where I did not stick to IF. One day I was coughing so bad, I was literally ill, and so it was like, I never knew what I was going to be able to keep down or whatever, and I ate basically all day whenever I felt like I could. The next day, I basically drank juice the entire day. It was a lot of sugar. It was like apple juice. It was like sugary and everything, but it was a way to keep my blood sugar from being way off when I could not keep anything else down. So, and that happened twice last week. I drank so much juice. I got probably 2,000 calories that day of apple juice alone. But, I didn't care. I was normally I would never touch juice because juice is I don't drink my calories. I kind of hate it. I'll put a third of a cup of milk in my coffee, but I do not like to drink my calories after that. I usually drink nothing but water, but I was just so ill, and for whatever reason, I could not touch water. It was water was making me so sick. So I just drank juice, and I was like, whatever. But I was proud of myself for letting myself be able to let go of the, I never felt obsessed. I was never oh my gosh, it never make me crazy or sad or angry. It was okay, today it's not going to happen, and I have a good reason, and I'm okay. And then in the middle of the week, I went back to it, and when it stopped working again, I would stop again. And so this month, out of 31 days, I have 27 that I have successfully been doing my IF plan. Intermittent fasting, yes. Okay, so I am very, very happy. I also, and here you go, at the very end, I'm going to tell you my weight loss. Now, if you're in the group or on my Instagram, you already know. But, the day before, the last day of February, maybe, somewhere in that area, I weighed in, and I was 193.2. So that was my start weight for March. And it was just whatever. I'll weigh in if I want to weigh in. I'm not weighing in if I don't. There's no set day, whatever. I just kind of wanted to be healthy. And I was I know I'm not moving enough to make it matter, or, whatever. This is just building habits. I basically feel like I am drilling pilings so I can build on it throughout the year. This is the foundation. And this was a very good foundational month. But the side effect of being sober, the side effect of being clean enough to eat clean and be satisfied, and the side effect of, yes, moving more than I had consistently over months, was that I winded up today, I weighed in because it's the last day, and I was let's see, at 179 even. So I am down 14.2 pounds this month, which is a blessing. It's amazing. It's heavenly. And it makes me really happy, don't get me wrong, to know that I am finding my way, and I feel like this could really work for me. I feel like I'm really happy to have a livable plan. And I know that the most important thing is going to be staying sober. Whether I do it with IF, whether I do it, however I do it, it's going to have to be staying sober. But I think that the biggest thing for me is going to be, as I move forward, to not want that number to change. That's a beautiful thing, and I really want to be out. I just wanted to be so far from the 190s. When I saw 190 over the last couple of months, my heart just broke. But, being out of the 180s is great, and I don't want to go back, and I don't think I will, but it's not when I saw that number today, my brain said, great, April can be all about getting out of the 170s, and that's totally doable, and that's not ridiculous. And then it was whoa, no, April cannot be all about getting out of the 170s. What April has to be about is continuing to build on this, continuing to build on the food relationship that I have started this month, continuing to build on the habits I have started this month, continuing to build on the sobriety that I have started this month. So that's what April is going to be about. And, you know, there should be weight loss with that, because when you're eating correctly, you know, like I'm figuring that my body will naturally find its place, which is what I had read for years when people were recovering from food problems, you know, in disordered eating. It was like I gained a lot, I lost a lot, I gained a lot, and then my body just kind of found its place. And I was like, that's never going to happen for me, because I'm always going to be eating either too much or too little. I'm either going to be blowing up or shrinking down. Like, it's never going to be okay. And I never ever thought that I would be able to be smaller and not be starving. Like, those things just kind of never really fit in the same frame. So I feel like for the first time, I could actually see my body being allowed the time to find its comfortable, its healthy, comfortable, correct shape and weight and maintain it. And I am excited about that, obviously. So that's some great things that are going on. The other thing that I think I talked to you guys about a while back, I had said I was starting to take myself more seriously, and that if I missed exercising, I was going to go to the doctor. Well, because I had to be at the doctor for the lungs and the asthma, I talked to the doctor, and I said, like, I don't know, a lot of you guys may or may not know, but like I do, like, you know, I think y'all do know, with the fibro and the rheumatoid arthritis, and arthritis and the, just a lot of stuff. So, like the migraines, it's just retarded. But, so, and you know, I want to apologize for using that word. I'm really trying to stop using that word. I'm really trying to be more sensitive to the fact that people live their life, and I don't know what those words mean, because I know that there are words that people use every day that bother me, and I'm really trying to make a conscious effort. So I'm really sorry for using that word the way I just now did. So I was talking to you about the doctor. So I went to the doctor, and while I was there, I was like, listen, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, I would like to get a handle on the fibro. I would like to get a handle on the things. Like, I used to try just exercising through them, and that clearly kicked my butt over the last year and a half. And I would like to work on being healthy and getting myself together. And she was like, great, make an appointment. So I am going to be making more videos about that as I make appointments and follow up. So that's coming up. Yeah, that's the plan. There we go. All right, guys. Tomorrow I'll be putting up a video for April's official challenge. And I'm going to record it today. So I'll look just like this. Maybe not. Yeah, I probably will. Okay. Anyway, April's challenge will be up. It'll also be in the Facebook group and possibly on my Instagram, but I don't know. And I haven't blogged in like weeks because of how sick I've been, but I'm hoping to blog. Yay!